Ladies and gentlemen, I have just made the trade of a lifetime. Now, as you guys all know exactly where we were buying, I hope that right now you guys are in massive amounts of profit too, as the price is up roughly 2.5% or so from our entry point, depending of course on where you got in. If you're using our DCA strategy, you probably got an even lower price. But if you just bought at the 39.6K mark, right now the price is at roughly $40,000, and so nobody could be at a loss right now. And again, we have, as of this point, I'm just quickly saying it, two important hurdles to look at. 40.5 thousand again, which is this little region that we had a lot of support at before. We now have to get over that hurdle. And I say the next most important line is roughly at $42.2 thousand. And I think the moment that we break 40.5 is going to be a pretty quick move upwards. But of course, I'm just keeping it real here, really quick video. Of course, we are still keeping 37,000 in our mind, but here's two things. One, if you trade the way I describe it here, it's very hard to lose in a bull market because you know that over a little bit of time, we're going to be up significantly. So the strategy is find out what's dumping things. Grayscale's dumping massively. There's FTX trauma of them dumping Bitcoin now. And there's the Mt. Gox Bitcoin dump. And now logically, right? If that's all dumping on the market, but we do know that over the next, let's say, 10 months or so, there's only like $100,000 necessary. I shouldn't say only. I mean, we expect to go to those prices. It's just about finding yourself juicy opportunities. And again, the second part is you don't actually have to take the trade I described for long. As I stated, my bots, the ones that we've set up that you guys will be able to copy very, very soon from now, if you have an account on OKX, a link is down below for that. We can get juicy bonuses too, by the way. You can just copy, and the lower prices go, the better and the juicier your profit will look like. We've had multiple of our bots running for 1.5 years almost, but every single day I'm trying new things, new strategies. For example, 2 bots we have running right now on Bybit, 2 with both about $100 because I was looking into a minimum amount of money strategy for just $100. And you can see right now we're in $10 worth of profit, about 5%. And I'm not looking for something that works one time. I'm looking for some strategies that will work throughout the entirety of the bull market. Because even though these trades, or I should say these bots, only go long, you can see that our liquidation price here is 1 cent, and for the other it's about $3,000, and I'll explain more about that a bit later. For my BitGet bots, things get a little bit harder to showcase because even though these ones are doing okay, I'm trying it with so little money that the results here are not accurate, right? So with this bot here, for example, I wanted to take 2% profit as often as possible. And you can see it did so 12 times, even though it will never bust, so that's good. But it's only in $3 profits because we're doing this with very, very little money because this is not the usual strat. The shorts one, again, even though it filled 48 cycles, is also only in 5% or $8.8 worth of profit. This is, again, with very, very little money. I think I put $10 or $20 into every single one of these. And here you can see one Ethereum bot that I also had open is in minus $40 because I messed up some settings. And I was like, let me just keep it open, see how it would actually work. And here's one Bitcoin one I messed up as well. It's like I just opened them up in a stupid manner first to see how it would go. It doesn't work, right? If you don't do it the proper way, it won't work. And before, so again on OKX, I didn't fully get every setting. I just do whatever I know works because this is also what we've done in the past and what a lot of my friends are using. But I wanted to more figure out for myself exactly which settings can I tweak, what will work for the long term, what will work for me, what will work for you guys. And so I'm wasting a couple $100 trying that out, but it's worth it, you know? It's definitely worth it because now I really know. This one has done 83 cycles of 0.4% profit. It's no profit at all because, again, the fees as of this point, you can see how often it triggered, right? It completed 83 cycles of 0.4% profit, and it's about 12 cents each time that it makes. Here, 50 cents, sometimes some outliers, 40 cents, etc. But when you look, the fees are very significantly high, which is the problem here because it's so little money that the fees are like at a little minimum level. But I think also just the 0.4 profit is too low. It's, again, something new I tried, and I think it will work with significant sums of money, but not with this little. I think here it should be at least 2. But even now, for example, I'm thinking, hey, let me open up one with 8% profit and one with 4 because I've actually never tried that. On OKX, for example, it is 0.8, but it might be calculated slightly differently. But again, the bots, the core idea is buy down lower, get your average price as low as possible, and then on the next wick up, take in that profit and then try it again from whatever price you're at. Make sure you buy in, buy your way down lower. Once it pops back up, sell it again, make your profit. And the reason it works is because you're in a bull market and we are basically believing that prices will go back up later. If you're in a bear market, this does not work because at some point you're going to be holding your bags for a while, and there's some really cool things you can do. You can change it to a traditional futures position and just hold on to it. You can actually swap it, so to speak, to spot, which is more expensive, but you could do so. There are a couple strategies you can do to mitigate the downside risk. Anyway, as of this point, our buy the rumor, sell the news, hold the line is actually holding the line, which is pretty interesting to see. This is the buy the rumor with the whole BlackRock situation, the ETFs, sell the news to the CME gap, fill it, and then come back up, or perhaps a complete, basically bull market breakdown of 33%, and then back up. It's either of those two, but we expect it. Again, I've been saying it on this channel. Look back at the videos, guys. That 47,000, I'm cashing out some of my trades. I'm enjoying right now because I do expect things to fall back down. We actually went significantly higher towards 48.6 or 48.9 on some exchanges, but I don't really care. This is where we cashed out at 47, trying to buy back in lower, specifically at 39.6K. We're there now. I bought in heavy, and again, the bots are set up, but also just manual orders are easy enough to just stack your way down to this $33,000 box, because I do not believe we're going to fall below that. Once more, guys, the S&P is still breaking highs, and as long as this continues on towards the upside, I see no world in which, again, a little dip, a little bear trap, it ain't the big problem, right? It's now the problem, at least looking. If we were to get rejected at the 40.5K, for example, level, I can't draw that perfectly, and then now come back down, potentially go towards 33, that would be a very short-term, quote-unquote, problem. In my opinion, though, it would be more of an opportunity to buy back lower for the longer cycle. Because as I've stated, our belief, I should say still, is that every single time after an all-time high in the stock market, 1 year Bitcoin makes, 1 year later, Bitcoin makes this all-time high. That's exactly still what we are looking for here. Exactly what we're still waiting for. I will also say, by the way, with the link down below, you can claim yourself a juicy, free $500 position on Bybit, a free OKX, I don't know how much bonus, $30,000 or something like that. And on BitGate, you can also claim some bonuses. If none of these exchanges work for you, check out the link down below to ZoomX, because there I believe you can still trade leverage without actually doing KYC, without needing a VPN. And it's one of the exchanges most Americans that I know use, the ones that do big trading. Most of them use ZoomX. So once more to summarize, $40.5 thousand, interesting level to watch for right now. S&P still breaking higher though, so still we have a bullish narrative. If we do see a breakdown, our initial thought is, okay, we're going to be seeing some pressure at this 37.7 level, mostly, in my opinion, based on what I said before, the on-chain supply distribution of Bitcoin. Just around 38,000, it gets really, really interesting. So I do expect, if we were to head lower, a lot of pressure to be in the midst, where we do see a couple of bounces from this zone here if we do break. Or do fail to pass 40.5K. I do not think it's going to be a quick little move below 38. But if we do, again, worst for this correction, I think, is about 33. And that's because the average of previous bull run cycles, the average drawdown was about 30%. And that's, again, what we would see here at 33,000. A 33% pullback, and that's again what my strategy is. So buy. If you've been following the channel or the strategy, you'd be up a ton of money right now, and you can decide for yourself. Do you want to sell, take some quick profit, and try to buy back lower? Well, in my opinion, what is best is you can do two things. Right? There's two options. One is, like I always do, you have one longer term trade and one shorter term trade account, both on your same account. I'm just saying I sometimes use Bybit for a lot of these short-term orders, and then perhaps the OKX for the longer term, right? You could do it differently. I'm just saying there's a couple examples here. You can also do them on the same exchange. It's not a problem. You can also just have separate orders open at the same time, depending on what you put up in your settings. And the idea then being that this is such a good region to buy back in for the longer term that I would not like to fail to do so. However, you might also just be opening a trade, closing it right there for profit, and waiting for the next juicy opportunity. For example, another bounce from the top, you might want to catch yourself a short. Things like that. You might be waiting for specific moves. But then again, we all know that if you got yourself a juicy position at 38.5 or something like that, you're extremely lucky. And it's not nice to give it up now in the grand scheme of things, because what if we bounce back up now, all of a sudden you sold everything and you're not in massive profits anymore? It would suck. But I guess you could also just buy it on spot if you're really worried of that. Anyway, last couple of weeks, guys, we've been too accurate. And I find it sometimes quite scary how profitable this crypto space can be if you understand the moves that we're making, because these are too obvious. Just stick around. I'm preparing everything for you guys. As I said, I want to do a lot of testing. There are some OKX bots you can already copy. So I'll be releasing those, I think tomorrow. If I feel well, I'll do it tomorrow. But perhaps even later today, I might just upload it to this video. Just the settings in the description down below. No explainer videos yet on how exactly to set it up, but that will come soon. It just depends on how much time I have today. Otherwise, it'll be coming out tomorrow, which is still juicy. But as a baseline, I'll say, I think it's a good idea to have at least some position open at these levels because we're so low. Yes, you know exactly where we can go next. And this buying hedged has to do with longer term strategies of actually running a long and short position at the same time. Again, you might notice the reason I have a shorts bot here running as well is because it is sometimes very beneficial to have both of them. Once more, there's no money in this. It's like a couple $100 that's inside. But on our main bots, there is significantly more. And this I will extrapolate, do a lot more with, depending on whether or not we break down below this $38,000 mark and actually we basically, we fail the range, because then if prices move down, you can actually get yourself a nice little juicy bonus, I'm gonna call it, if we actually have a massive breakdown. So you have more money to buy back in with. And if we do not break down all the way towards 33, all right, we do not over the next weeks, then yes, some of the money on your short might be wasted. Then again, you can also set up a good strategy there to still make sure it cashes out on the way up. But I think it should be a ratio of like 5 to 1, 5 longs versus 1 short, or the short should be 1/5 the value of the longs, because you want it to just be some either extra income or a security, a safety measure, not your main profit maker. The main profit is on the way up, because obviously we're not necessarily looking for shorts in the bull market. We want to use them to amplify the gains of the bull market sometimes. But yeah, that's about it. Check the links down below to the exchanges that I'm using, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. But hopefully you guys all entered your positions, 39.6. Anyway, right now you'd be in profit. Any way you see it, you can decide what you want to do with that for yourself. I'm still holding on. But again, if you feel uncomfortable, you feel unsafe, 40.5 is a big barrier. And even right now, it's not like the biggest of bounces. We might still struggle here. It might be a fight mentally, so make sure you're prepared for anything. But again, my strategy is just to buy down lower wherever we go. If you can't handle that, right now you can sell for some profit. Look for the next opportunity. And the most important thing is, don't FOMO. Don't go too crazy. Use your brain. You'll make it.